Why is the scale the only thing that you listen to? The scale isn't the end to be all. There is more that you need to look at on your weight loss journey. You're allowing the scale to dictate your mood and dictate your success that you will experience during your weight loss journey. I will tell you why the scale lies. Yes, the scale can lie when you look at it the wrong way. I'm Lee Agbohlah with Ultimate Performance, and in this video, you will learn what you really need to understand about the scale to help you on your weight loss journey. So be sure to like and subscribe. So why do I say the scale can lie? Well, it can't lie if you're just looking at a number to say, this says 200 pounds, I was 200 pounds last week. That means I didn't lose any weight. Well, yes, you can look at it that way and say you didn't lose any weight, but what is weight when you think about it? It's what is made up your body mass, right? So we know there's bone mass, there's muscle mass, there's water, there's your body fat as well. But do you understand how these things can change that has nothing to do with what you're really looking at? Your ultimate goal when you're on your weight loss journey is to lose body fat, right? You want to get rid of that. That's what allows you to look lean, strong, and ultimately feel good about yourself, right? And to have the things that you want to see change within your body to have the performance and everything to match up with what you want on your journey. That is what you have to look at. But if you just only judge your success based off the scale, it could be lying to show how you're progressing. Progress is measured more than just the weight on the scale. It's something that I do look at for myself when I'm cutting weight and for my clients when they are on their weight loss goals as well. But that's not the only thing I look at. And I also understand the context within that. So often when you step on the scale after a week that you feel is a bad week, you feel like you gained weight because you look on the scale. But often there's things that happen like weight fluctuations. What are weight fluctuations? Well, it's just how your body can fluctuate in weight. Depending on the day, it could be 1 to 5 pounds. So it really has nothing to do with if you actually lost weight or gained weight, if your weight just fluctuates. What is one thing that will lead to that is after having a meal where you load up on your carbs, right? So we know during this holiday season, you may see yourself after Thanksgiving or after Christmas or a holiday party, and you'll step on and you'll see like, oh my gosh, I gained 3 pounds. To gain 3 pounds, that means you really have to be in a surplus over 10,000 calories. Is it possible? Yes, I guess in theory, but it's very unlikely that you can actually eat that many calories and see your body go up that much. Because also, that means you have to be a surplus of what your normal calorie range is supposed to be at. So that's like you almost eating 15,000 calories, which I'm sure didn't happen. I hope not. So you got to understand that that can fluctuate because carbs will carry more water weight as well. So your weight can fluctuate just based off of that. So often it's not because you really did get fatter. It's often because the weight did fluctuate. Now, you could have been in a surplus, but to the level that it looks like on the scale, it's highly unlikely because there's other things that you have to look at that led to that happening. Because it's not just, I just gained a bunch of weight. Well, what caused it? What did you consume? What type of meal led to you getting to the scale where you see the numbers go up? Because that's what you have to look at. So after certain meals, certain things, especially if you're a night out, maybe you drink a little bit more alcohol, you're gonna notice that as well. That doesn't mean that you truly gain that many amount of pounds as you see on the scale. There's other things you have to look at. Even though this should be something that you could look at to be like, okay, maybe I didn't stick on track of what I should be at, but am I really in this big of a hole that it looks like? Should I really be discouraged instead of looking at it as something that I can use as a measurement, but understand what else do I need to look at to ultimately lead to success, right? How have I tracked my calories? How often I worked out? How often I slept? And how much water am I getting? These are other things you need to look at. Another thing that can lead to this fluctuation is on the scale is stress levels. I know that during different parts of the year, you're gonna feel stress because of work, stress because of family, stress just because the things is just going on in the world. These things happen, and that can lead to weight fluctuation as well. So just being stressed, even though yes, when you're stressed, maybe you do go to the carton of ice cream, or you go to the bag of chips, or you go for that greasy burger when you know you're not supposed to because you didn't put that within your diet. Even though you don't believe in restriction, like I'm teaching you don't have restriction, but you didn't account for that in your diet. So that may have led to you being in a surplus for that day, but doesn't mean it led to you seeing the number on the scale spike as high as it did. So you gotta understand that stress, which happens often, and there's things that we could talk about another day in a video about managing your stress, but you just gotta understand that looking at that scale alone can lie to you if you think that you're just that, where, man, I gained so much weight, or man, I'm a failure because I'm not consistent on my journey. Understand that weight will fluctuate, things will happen. That doesn't mean that you're not doing what you're supposed to do all the time, because sometimes some things will just be out of your control when things like that happen, and you tells your body to hold on to more water weight, even though you really didn't gain any body fat. So stress will cause the scale to go up at certain periods of time, based off of what's going on in your life. So there's other things that you can work on to help that so that it doesn't happen as often, but you have to look at that as not a reason to tell you that you're doing something wrong on your journey. So just understand that part of it that will just happen. As I just talked about, we talked about half the carbs, getting more water from that. We talked about how stress can lead to that happening to yourself. You have to understand that things will happen that sometimes are outside your control, but isn't the reason why you're not seeing the scale go down. Because if your weight fluctuates, that's going to lead to the scale going up, even though you may be doing what you're supposed to doing. But there's maybe a little couple things that change within that week that makes the scale now look like you're going the opposite direction when you really are. And last, I want to talk about why the scale can lie, because you can go absolutely where you're not losing any weight in the whole year, and you can see tremendous changes in your body. Remember, there's a difference from body composition of what I'm just talking about. We talk about muscle mass, we talk about fat mass. So you can, in a year's time, through training, through diet, change your body where you gain more muscle but lose more body fat, and you will see inches change, even though the scale might not show it, but you see it within your clothes, or your pants that you couldn't fit into in 10 years you're now wearing. The suit that you wanted to wear before that didn't look right because you started to gain weight, now you're fitting in and you're looking good. So these are things that can happen, and that's happened when you don't expect it because you're just looking at the scale. So you may look on it and think that you're not really progressing, but you actually change your body because you're changing by having more muscle mass and having less body fat, and you're recompositioning your body and you're making changes. That is going to be more important than just seeing the numbers go down. So yes, if you have to lose 50 pounds, of course, at that time you're not going to gain 50 pounds of muscle and lose 50 pounds of fat. So yeah, those things will happen, but you still could be progressing really well if you're looking at different periods of the time, or maybe it doesn't seem like the scale is going down as much, but you're still seeing change with your body because you're still training right, you're still fueling your body right with the amount of protein you're eating and these different things. So that's why the scale can be lying as far as what is truly progressing versus only using one mode of measurement. It's so important that you look just past that. So as I talk about, I look at it for myself, I look at it for my clients, but I don't allow that to be the only thing to measure my success. There's more things you have to factor in. You got to understand how just stepping on scale constantly can be lying to yourself, because there's more that you need to look at as far as your progress. So how can it fluctuate? We talked about carbs. Eating a high carb meal can allow you to attain more water. Talk about stress. When you're stressed out, same thing, retain more water. And we talk about overall just progress, what I talked about. You can lose more body fat and gain more muscle and still see tremendous changes in your body. So don't look at the scale as the only thing that you're measuring. There's more things to look at your overall success. So please let me know in the comments of what you gained from this video. Has this shaped you to think differently of just using the scale as the only mode of measurement? Are you now gonna rethink just those fluctuations in weight and kind of look back to see why that might happen? Or if you disagree with me, please let me know as well. And as always, make sure that you like and subscribe and watch the next video.